Hey, Joe Gill here. I'm back. I've been away for a while. So sorry about that. Like I said, I don't really have many subjects to talk about anymore, and such. But let me just get right to it. I try to keep these videos short and to the point. I sometimes have difficulty doing that. Anyway, yeah. Believe it or not, I'm going to talk about my hometown, Los Angeles. Basically, rule number one, if you're going to come out pussy hunting out in Los Angeles, rule number one is don't. Pick someplace else. Of all the other videos that I filmed, pick someplace else. But like I said, you know, I talk about my videos, I talk about my advice. Yeah, is if you just happen to be out here, maybe you're stuck having to go on a family vacation somewhere, but you can sneak away. Maybe you're stuck here stuck on a business trip. And that could be any of the cities that could be in London. I don't necessarily recommend London, but I said, what if somebody's stuck on business or stuck on a tour or stuck or whatever. Well, LA is definitely a city you can be fucking stuck in. So, and I'm not just saying it, I'm not putting LA down because, I basically grew up here, I was born here, I was raised here, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and all that. I'm serious, this place has really become a fucking shithole. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about politics and all that, and the society and how rents and all this other bullshit. Other YouTubers can bitch about California's infrastructure. The bottom line is the nightlife here sucks. They've closed so many bars, discotheques, and nightlife around here. It's that it's crap. You got to go probably into the heart of LA, Hollywood, or whatever. But I live out here in the suburbs, and I don't, I'm typical LA person in that they don't like to drive anywhere. A typical psychological characteristics of somebody who lives here in LA, we don't like to drive. I live like here in the Whittier area. If you live out in Hollywood, you live out like in Northridge, or you live all the way down in San Clemente, guess what? I'm not gonna, I'm like most people who were born and raised here. I'm not gonna fucking waste my time unless I am gonna get laid to drive all the way out there to see you. Unless you make it worth my time. However, you being a tourist, you don't have that. Look. The prostitution scene is way underground. My advice is you got to know somebody or find somebody. I actually know some people. My dad owns a business in Uptown Whittier, and there's a few whoremongers who insist on local of them. I just heard about one guy at my dad's gym who literally rents out a total underground brothel, and him and some of his buddies, they just spend the whole day just fucking prostitutes, just banging out women. It's crazy. My advice is there's a lot of those little kind of illegitimate massage parlors out here that I'm sure your possible hometowns. I would recommend that. Another thing I would recommend for LA is that you pre-plan. If you know you're coming out here, join a sex site or join some type of sexual internet connection place, and that's international, where you can click on all different cities of the U.S. or all different cities around the world. Adult Friend Finder is one of the most popular ones. And then you go on any of them. You can go on Facebook or Instagram. I don't use any of that shit, or try using social media and pre-planning. And one of the advantages you have is, here's what I recommend. I recommend you get a hotel suite, or spend a little money if you literally want to hook up with somebody here. My other advice, since you're so close to Tijuana, is come here and then just take a 2-hour drive south to TJ. Note, look at my video library. I should have covered Tijuana. But like I said, if you're stuck here in LA for some reason in this fucking hellhole, that's what you can do. One of the reasons why I recommend you get a hotel room and get a nice one and maybe spend a few extra bucks, if you can get a suite, like a 1-bedroom suite with the bar, that'll entice the woman, any local around here. Here's why, and this is about the only thing. Every fucking person here in LA, because not only LA, San Francisco, it's all over California. This inflation has gone up so high. Rents are so expensive. Nobody, and this is what fucks up casual sex and dating here. This is what fucks it up for being single. Every motherfucker lives with somebody, including my fucking self. Look. This isn't my place. Look, somebody commented on that fucking stuffed animal over there. You know, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, well, anyway, there's a stuffed dog. You know, I basically live at home. I don't know if I ever said this. I don't care. I really don't care to hear your comments, but you know, my parents are still married. I've been single, so they don't mind it. And I look at it in those difference. If I were kicked out of here and were living here, I would have to go rent some other bedroom or small bedroom, small room or in some fucking hole in the wall. And that's what a lot of people do. There's a lot of people on Section 8 housing, but like I said, I'm not going to get into all that fucking shit. Bottom line is everybody lives with somebody here. Everyone has a fucking roommate, 2 roommates. I know so many people that rent a 1-bedroom apartment and they're living 2 people in the 1-bedroom apartment. That's how bad it is here in California. And you can't fuck. I'm sorry. You go online, you go on internet or internet dating. That's the best thing for, you know, sadly for people my age, you know. Like I said, the bar scene, especially out here in suburbia, sucks. So yeah, I mean... They can't really invite you over to fuck, because chances are they could be living in a 1-bedroom. The main person is paying the most rent, is sleeping in the 1-bedroom, and you're sleeping on the couch in the living room. There's a lot of situations like that going on here. There's a lot of one person that I met on an online dating site, the woman her age, she was living with her mother. She was around my age, in her 40s. She was living with her mother. Then she was her personally had a son living with him, his wife, and then their kids. So 4 generations of people living under one roof. You think she's going to invite me over to fuck? Oh, excuse me, son. Excuse me, mom. But, yeah, I met this guy online. We're just going to go in my room and we're going to fuck. Yeah, it makes it difficult trying to have a regular sex life here. So, because of thanks to the poverty level and the inflation and all the homeless and all the bullshit. So, yes, if you're going to be single, that's another thing. That's something to consider. If you're fucking single and you're coming out here, you better have enough money to have your own place. That's what I'm saying. If you're visiting, do that. Because chances are any of the girls you're going to hook up, they're living with several family members, they're living with several roommates, and yeah, if they have to spread their legs just to get away for a couple of nights, and if you have something really nice to offer to stay in, like a suite with a fucking bar and a living room and cable TV, then the chances are they'll come running, and it's just like, I'll suck some random guy's dick for that. I'm just making an assumption now. I'm not guaranteeing you sex if you rent a nice room at the fucking Hilton or the Radisson or the Holiday Inn, or if you rent a suite. But yeah, you're gonna. My advice is you're coming out here on a vacation or you're stuck out here on a poon hunt. If you can afford a nice hotel someplace, I would do it. your odds of picking up random trim will be simpler. Other than that, that's the big dilemma out here. And here's another stereotype that's dead. If you're hoping to meet blonde women like on Baywatch, Baywatch is basically bullshit, which is why it's not on here. It's no longer blonde girls with big tits. So if you're thinking that you're gonna see a ton of that shit around town and all that, you're not. Which is why I recommend fucking Tijuana. You're gonna meet it's mostly Hispanic populated now. There's mostly Hispanic people here. And which is why I do recommend Tijuana, because between I can definitely tell you between the Hispanic women here and the ones in Tijuana, the Tijuana ones are going to cost you a lot less. It's you're going to have a cheaper encounter, a less expensive encounter with a chick down in TJ than here in LA. So yeah, that stereotype, that old 60s, 70s stereotype, and I wish they all can be California girls because they're blonde with big tits is kind of over. So put your Beach Boy records away and brush up on your Spanish, because that's not the way it is out here at all. But anyway, that's just kind of a brief thing. Like I said, the little massage parlors down here, they're going to run you about $40 just to get into the door, and that's for the room. And then she's going to charge you double. She's going to ask you for another 30 or 40, and that's just to give you a wank. Because it's so underground, the bottom line is she doesn't trust you. The brothel, the little massage places, and these are all over LA. My best advice is you get an LA Express magazine or some other adult magazine. I would say use the internet, but Craigslist has been shut down. Or whatever. Like I said, use another adult dating site. But then again, it could be just as risky. The biggest thing is just sort of trust out here. That's why it's best by word of mouth. It's best by word of mouth because it's very underground. It's very discreet here, and which would give you sort of kind of a tough time. But like I said, there's still some of those places that are around here, and so if you do it like the old school way, they still print those magazines. Just look in LA Express. It's in like an adult newsstand. You might find those you can find those around Hollywood or in the sleazier parts, in the more ghetto parts of town, even in the suburbs. Like if you're in Southgate or something like that, or Linwood or Compton or some shit, or even Whittier and Pico Rivera. You just got to look for these newsstands, and then it's like 50 cents, and then you kind of flip through it, and it's got the ads with pictures or whatever. Or you can just look in any newspaper, and it will have like an adult entertainment section. And then it might advertise where some of those little, Jack Shacks are or something like that. And if you negotiate or something like that, you can get more. You can probably get sex from them or whatever. Or like I said, drive down to TJ. Anyway, that's a little blurb on LA. Talk to you later. And have a good one. Bye.